Thank you. Thank you, Emma. And last, but as they say, certainly not least, I'd like to welcome from Greater Boston Academy a senior who's also a raw arts participant, reading her poem, A Letter to Shame, Paula Mendez.
Hi, so this poem is about growing up as a Latina in like an atmosphere where I never saw myself positively represented. I always saw Latina women as being overly sexualized or dumbed down, so I wrote a poem about it. Dear Shame, you were the monster that my mother carried on her back the first day that she stepped foot onto genocidal soil. The looming demon that split high school crowds like the Red Sea whenever she rolled her R's, tongue weighed down by the anchor of her pronunciation. You were the white paint that washed itself over her pale skin. She wore the insecurity of her accent as tight as her winter jacket. She still tells me that she never learned how to correctly pronounce words with I's in them. Maybe she was too busy memorizing words like assimilation, colonization, cultural deterioration, learning that the melting pot she was living in had spoonfuls of oppression and silence mixed in and had trouble making itself feel comfortable with new ingredients. Shame. You were there the day that my mother sat me down and told me that when people ask me where I'm from, they don't want to know about my beautiful island, sprinkled with palm trees, pulsing with the rhythm of Hibaro Bombay Plena. They don't want to know that my heartbeat echoes the politics and poetry of Pablo Neruda and that parts of myself still whistle to the Andes Mountains. No, I should just smile, with stars and stripes bleeding from my eyes, and say that I am nothing but American. Shame. You were the pride I once felt for my pale skin, a perfect disguise lacking melanin to keep my heritage hidden. You were the upside-down smiles my father was slapped in the face with whenever he said his name was Pedro, the voice from my teachers telling me that I wasn't allowed to speak Spanish in class. They will pound erasure into your chest until you forget the accent over the E in your last name. They will call your sisters, brothers, cousins ghetto until they become the next fashion statement. Shame. You stuck me in a limbo of identity because I didn't want to get looked at wrong, but their answers are strong enough to sever heritage or stones hard enough to beat down my ethnicity. The weight of a man who only fears not being able to understand will try to keep you quiet. He has alienated you for years, pretends that you, speaking your own language, is the greatest American injustice. Instead of listening to him, let the R's roll off of your tongue like waterfalls. Deja que tu voz le dé susto. Dile a él que no te controla, que tu sangre es más poderosa que todo. Dile que los genes de tu cuerpo susurran solo maravillas. Do not let yourself be silenced.
It takes courage to get up and speak your truth, to open up the mouth and I just let the drum that beats in the chest be heard. And I, for one, appreciate that. Those who put pen to paper or paint to canvas to express themselves is a beautiful and daring leap of faith to get in front of all of these people who you do not know and share your voice and your vision. So could we please give them all another round of applause? I was asked to perform or read something that might be of interest to young people. And the older I get, the younger they seem to get. So I decided, okay, well, let's try ethnomusicology and social linguistics. For that, I'll need some help. So anthropologists tell us that some time ago, we probably were down to our tribe, we Homo sapiens sapiens. We're probably down to about 1,000 breeding pairs. And so we were that close to going out. I guess what keeps us here, what keeps this meaning something, I guess we had to learn who we were in small groups, and to do that, we had to speak to each other and use communication in all kinds of ways so we could grow as one in those small groups. So invariably someone would get up and they would make a gesture or they would say a word and their tribe would speak back to them in something that was familiar to them. And so I'm going to ask you guys to give me one word. When I do like this, I just need you to give me one word, one Anglo-Saxon interrogative gruntable. Yes, you said it in your head, that word is what? So let's try that.
What?
Exactly. Now, for you teenagers out there, I realize that you do speak your lingua franca is sarcasm and incredulity. So what I need you to do is to act like you don't believe me. Like, what? Like you just found out your parents were hypocrites. Let's try that. What? Okay. So let's take it back to the dawn of time. Before technology tamed our minds, when a man took his hands and began to clap. And that was the beginning of the boom, boom, bap. Let's take it back to the dawn of time, before technology tamed our minds, when a woman started humming to an animal's call. And that was the beginning of the yes, yes, y'all. A yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. It's like that, it's like that, it's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. Really? This is kind of like that. So, once again, here we are again, needing to feel what it means to be skinned. To feel the systole and diastole of the heart getting rolled into poetry, music, art, funk, whatever comes from the soul. We know the body has intelligence of which the intellect cannot dismiss, a consequence of biocultural experience. But let's take a quick trip and get a sense of what it means for you and me to have become human beings. Back in a time which we cannot recall, our ancestors drummed in the hum of night. Up under these same stars, they believed were gods that shone down as they danced by the firelight. Their bodies casting shadows, voices started grunting, imitating animals they knew they would be hunting on the next day to provide sustenance for the tribe. This was a ritual intended to recognize that life is born of death. Like sunrise and set, cycles from east to west, the drums would beat, feet began to step, moving from right to left, the men leapt as the chants began to rise from the women's breath. This is why all this stuff, what we do, calls the blood. It's been this way since we crawled from the mud. An ancient thing banging in the body and the mind that we've been grooving to, people, since the dawn of time. So yes, let's take it back to the dawn of time. Before technology tamed the mind, a man took his hands and began to clap. And that was the beginning of the boom, boom, bap. Let's take it back to the dawn of time. Before technology tamed our minds, when a woman started humming to an animal's call. And that was the beginning of the yes, y'all. A yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. It's like that, it's like that, it's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like... It's like that. So, whether Irish or English or Spanish, Danish or Swedish or Polish, Russian or Turkish, Italian, German or Kurdish, Japanese or Assyrian, Javanese or Armenian, Portuguese, Hungarian, Hebrew, Zulu, Bavarian, no matter the tongue you speak, every language, it has a beat. The body instinctively translates into music. See, what science has found is we are creatures of sound, and our ears need to seek rhythmic patterns in human speech, like the words in spitting. Hear the rhythm that's in them, even before you get a hint of any content I'm kicking. You first think nothing of it, but the verbal percussion begins to drone inside of your ears, and then your blood begins rushing, your pulses get to throbbing, your head begins to bobbing, you feeling the effect of what the rhythm has been plotting. It's gotten you to synchronize alpha waves and realize that rhythm's more than in music, but structurally it underlies each and every atom to plasma scattered on Saturn. Every stage of matter is organized in rhythmic patterns, which are architectonic. Everything has a tonic, everything has a cycle, everything has a phonic. All life depends upon it. We're engineered to want it. This thing that remains, refrains, comes back, is chronic. This thing that haunts us all like ghosts in the mind. We've been dancing with people since the dawn of time. So yes, let's take it back to the dawn of time. Before technology tamed the mind, a man took his hands and began to clap. And that was the beginning of the boom, boom, bap. Let's take it back to the dawn of time. Before technology tamed the mind, a woman started humming to an animal's call. And that was the beginning of the yes, y'all. A yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. It's like that, it's like that, it's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like meow, 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 that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all. It's like that, y'all.